The galaxy is burning. Brother fights brother, and treason splits the Imperium of man. This is the Age of Darkness. Welcome to the Remembrancers retreat, coming to you from within the depths of the Vengeful Spirit.
Hello and welcome to the Remembrancers retreat, a Warhammer 30k Horus Heresy podcast. My name is Jesse. I'm here today with Will.
Hello.
Steven.
Hello.
And Austin.
Hey.
It's 6 a.m, but I'm up right now because I really want to talk about these models.
Yeah, you should all feel very loved.
It's 6 a.m. and I'm up right now because my baby got me up at 3:56.
It's 6 a.m. and I only got up because Will and Austin and Jesse were going to be up, and, well, I didn't want to be left out.
You heard it here. Steven's a follower, everyone.
He had FOMO, and my God, was he right to fear it.
Yeah. We got a lot of information here.
Yeah, you like that? FOMO. I'm right there with the hip kids.
Yeah.
Let's jump into it because it is 6 a.m. and I can go back to bed when this is done. Okay. So first off, we got the box reveal, right? We saw all the contents over the past April, and now we have, like the extra stuff. It's coming with decal sheets, reference sheet, rule books, and they're pricing this thing, they say here, for less than $300 for 54 miniatures, including a Spartan tank. So,
which is fucking what? Not just a Spartan, but the Contemptor as well.
Sure, yeah.
Two characters.
50 infantry, the 10 Terminators.
Yeah,
it's wild stuff.
By under 300 could mean 250, could mean 299. Don't know. Either way.
Could be 299, exactly.
But honestly, even for a flat 300, this is a hell of a deal. Because how much are Contemptor Dreadnoughts going for right now, Steven?
60.
60. That's the same thing for a 10-man tactical squad, right?
Yeah.
10-mans are 55, I want to say. Right now.
55.
Yeah. 55, yeah.
Well, and that's a plastic Contemptor, too. Like, that's not even getting into the Forge World Contemptors, which are almost, I think, $115.
Yeah, I mean, and for this, even if you bought like that standard plastic Contemptor and just wanted the different weapon upgrades, right? You have to buy the fucking Forge World weapon upgrades. So that's just for the 40 Marines and the Dreadnought. That's at $280.
Yeah, and a resin Spartan was going for like $200 USD, if I remember right.
Something around
210.
Yeah.
And then you have 10 Terminators.
Guys, they also throw in some measuring sticks. They're bringing those back. How cool is that? I mean, we haven't seen those in a couple editions, right?
It's good because you can hit the guy that you're splitting the box with if he tries to take what isn't his.
Yeah. You can also use them as marshmallow sticks that will melt once you put them over fire,
providing great flavor.
Aroma, fills up the house with a nice smoky smell. Yeah.
Also, the rulebook, the core book comes with it.
Yeah, the core rulebook,
the full core rulebook and a reference sheet.
And those are not cheap.
And I mean, decals even for the 2 legions presented. Everything is legion agnostic, but the fact that they're bringing out, this, I'm hoping that we'll see, maybe some other decal sheets similar to this.
Some small ones.
It would be fun.
Every small ones that you can buy for, $10 or something, I guess.
Every time you buy a box of Tactical Marines, it's just a random transfer sheet of a Loyalist and a Traitor Legion.
Yeah. Well, that being said, the new, the Mark 3s and stuff, don't they come with
Mark 3?
They come with both the Calth and the Prospero ones, too.
I have never bought a box off the shelf like that, so I cannot tell you for sure. But that would be very cool.
I won one at an event, and I think that's the case.
The Mark IV definitely has Calth, and the Mark III definitely has Prospero, but I don't know about each having the other.
Yeah. So, all right, moving on then, I guess.
I do want to just remember, we are getting a reference sheet.
Yeah.
And I can't stress just how good that is.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure there's a lot of changes in the rules.
I still use my Age of Darkness reference sheet I got with Book 4 when the Collector's Edition dropped. Mm-hmm. I still use that to this day. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's still accurate with everything. Yeah.
I still use my Battlefleet Gothic reference sheet, right?
Yeah.
And that game's 20
the
years old.
reference sheets, they typically reference rules that don't get FAQ'd, right? Like they'll typically FAQ an advanced rule, but they'll never really FAQ a core rule so much. So that's what I love about the reference sheets. They are core rules.
Speaking of rules, in that reference sheet, if you're looking, one of the things it talks about is move characteristic, which seems wild, and I think it's add charge. So it's like adding, right?
Yep.
And so that 7 inches is the flat 0, no change. Presumably the speed of a Marine, ?
Finally, we have some sweet, juicy confirmation.
Right?
You're going so fast, you got that momentum to carry you through. I like that. I like that a lot.
That is a great change. And something with vehicle weapon types. Can't see anything about it. Can't tell.
But rumors are now finally being solidified, and it's great.
Guys, I just want to mention this. I mentioned it with the tacticals, but there's still skulls everywhere. They put skulls on almost everyone's bases again. That is, Codex Rock and Codex Skull are going to be amazing when they finally drop.
It's Codex Rock and Codex Supplement Skull.
Oh, yes. I thought they were competing factions. Yeah.
Yeah. Skull. There's not enough Skull to have a whole codex, but there is enough Skull for a codex supplement in the style of the Space Marine chapters.
Right, so, speaking of Space Marines, Legionis Astartes Army Books.
Yes. So we
the
got
Liber Astartes and the Liber Hereticus.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, very cool. Loving the art style. They look big, thick, and black. Which is a callback to the tomes, I guess.
Yeah.
Yes, a callback to the tomes.
And they're good. I like them. They're supposed to have they have all the rules for the loyalists and all the rules for the traitors, respectively. They have their core combined elements, so there's no single book that both factions work out of.
Yep. Very similar to the Adeptus Titanicus loyalists and traitors.
Yeah,
you won't have a Marine book and then Legion rules separately.
This has all the have to carry around 2 individual 20-pound books.
Now you have 1 25-pound book.
Yeah, new players were always like, do I really need this book if I'm going to play this? And you'd have to be, yes, you need both of them regardless. But you
need 2 $80 books for 5 pages out of each.
But now you just need the one, which is awesome. I love it. And it does look very tome-like. It's very big. It's got it's going to have the fluff form, they said, too. And all factions or I guess Legion specific stuff. So your Primarchs, your characters, your advanced reactions, and that sort.
Yeah, I'm a little sad, but apparently the other factions aren't coming out down the line just yet.
That is a bummer. We're all a little concerned for Nova, right? Because if it's not all there for Nova, there's who knows what we'll end up playing there.
Probably revert to the first edition, obviously.
Yeah, it may be the farewell to 1, which will be sad because everyone will have their new or their new additional stuff we'll talk about in a minute. But I can't see them leaving the other factions too terribly long.
I really hope.
I hope not. Yeah,
we talked December, but honestly, I'd almost want them to come out next month. Give that initial release to the Marines. I understand it. And July, I want the mech book. I want the Solar Auxilia book. Because, I got 5-6 militia armies sitting around waiting.
Yeah.
And I was planning on taking my militia to Nova.
I was planning on taking the mech, so definitely would be a bummer if they didn't have that out.
And I understand, all right, you got to do a whole bunch of playtesting and all sorts of stuff. Pandemics can fuck with all sorts of things. I know we're kind of out of it now, but a thing that
Don't say it.
Right? A thing that happened a year ago, this has been in the works for a long time. Ago. Yeah. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Could still be seeing some repercussions of that, but God.
You think we'll finally get the adamantic Pavise for the Daredeo?
No. I think absolutely not. If they were going to do it, they would have told us by now.
That's going to be its own Warhammer community article one day.
They're like, finally, we blew the dust off the master and we started making copies again, guys. We're so sorry we digged you like that.
They also are reboxing the Mark 4s and 3s.
Well, hold on. We didn't even talk about the Mark 6s. Are coming out in 20-man squads.
Yes.
Like that, I've never seen that many Marines in a box before as a standard line unit.
Yeah,
that's
amazing. Straight back to Rogue Trader 1, right?
I know, it feels like that, where you're like, wow, I'm getting so many models.
Yeah, it's great. And I mean, I'm sure it's going to be pricey. You know, it'll be twice the price of a normal Marine box, right?
Yeah, I'm looking at, I'm expecting these to maybe cost $100 a pop, dude.
I'd like to see it 80. I mean, I'd like to see it, 35, but
I'd love to see it exactly.
But I think 80 would be a reasonable middle ground.
I'm just going based off the fact that regular tacticals right now are 50, but those do come with special weapons. These don't,
They do. These don't. I mean, they come with a bunch of bayonets that apparently have in-game rules. Get fucking excited.
Yeah.
Where's my gif of Josh Chamberlain just screaming bayonets at people? Oh, God. So happy.
You should put it on a shirt and take it to Nova.
Yes.
That's already a shirt.
Like Jesse was saying, the Mark III and the Mark IV are also getting reboxed into matching artwork and 20-man squads. So,
oh shoot, I just realized. Yeah, the artwork is Sons of Horus and Imperial Fists on the front of the boxes. So
I don't know, man. Looking at all the marks here together, the Mark III, 4, and I mean, I don't know if it's just because the 6 is newer, but I'm really digging the 6. The 4s and 3s just look dated when compared to how dynamic the 6 looks.
Yeah, they're doing the Warhammer squat or the Space Marine trot.
Yeah. Where these guys feel like they have just been retooled from the skeleton. You know what I mean?
They're much more upright.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then
put a little green stuff in that torso. You'll be fine.
Hey, the friggin' heroes from Burning of Prospero are finally going to be available.
Because you haven't been able to get those guys for almost free for the past 5 years.
Well, to be fair, you haven't been able to get an Ahriman because that is a really great foundational librarian conversion.
Yeah.
I still have 5 Gygor Fellhands from you guys all giving them to me.
Yeah.
Austin likes Space Wolves. Here.
Exactly. That was
I never
yay. Another one. You shouldn't have.
But I did really like Adam, when we had the live chat, I was giving Adam Troke a bit of shit because he really likes his rotator cannon. But he did point out that the Mark 6s are about half a head taller than the Mark 3 and 4s.
Yeah, I don't think
they really. I'm half a head taller than Steven.
That's what the tactical rocks are for.
And we're still both very strong, large men.
Yes.
Yeah,
very big,
as we all are.
As
friggin' huge, jacked.
We are mountains of men. Yes.
Yeah.
You can't see me. You don't know.
Yeah, we all frequently have the trouble of just crushing the miniatures in our hand when we're trying to paint them.
I record this from the gym every week.
Yeah, we're gonna go get swole later.
We're gonna get the protein shakes later, right, guys?
Yeah, coffee flavored protein
ripped.
shake.
The point is the Mark 6, Mark 3, and Mark 4 are going to be fine.
Yeah, they're going to be fine. It's going to be 20-man boxes. Hopefully, it won't be $100. Not because, Will said, $100 is still technically a deal, right? Because it's right now $55 for 10.
Yeah.
So technically, that's a price reduction. But I'd be more concerned that a $100 box will just scare off potential players.
Maybe,
you need tactical Marines to make your army. All right, great. I want 2 squads. That'll be $200.
What?
Yeah.
Well, so
here's the other thing. I think 80 sounds more reasonable because on the next reveal, they're gonna want you to buy those too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes, we expect a higher price, $80 to $100, something like that. I don't know. But it would be really nice if Games Workshop was, tried to be competitive with the rampant recasting and printing and dropped the price considerably.
To be fair, if this was a $40 box, they would just put China out of business.
Yeah. So we'll see. And you know how those start collecting boxes are. They usually have a fairly decent discount with a lot of models. Maybe they might go to that type of mindset. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll find out.
Mind-blowingly, the starter box at less than 300 will be 0 savings.
Yeah.
Because they've dropped the price on everything else. A man can dream.
Yeah. Yeah, that starter box. I'm thinking like the heroes, the Spartan, and the Contemptor, and you get your tacticals. Anyway.
On to the best thing in this reveal.
This is something that we've been wanting for years. We've talked about it.
Every time anything happens, it's plastic demos. Well, now
I did fuck the plastic demos. This is better than the plastic demos.
Oh, we're not talking about the demo?
We're not talking about the plastic demos yet. You ruined it, Steven. You ruined our reveal.
We walked right into the specialists and heavy weapons.
Yeah.
From the infantry, we move over to that.
Yeah. It is hands down the coolest thing. I don't care, like, assuming you'd seen nothing, right? Because some of the stuff did get leaked. But assuming you'd seen nothing, for me personally, this is still the coolest thing to come out of this reveal.
60 weapons, like I said before we started recording, 60 weapons in a box. That's insane. That's so many guns. Like,
you get a box of special weapons.
You get every special weapon.
Plasma, Melta, Flamer, Rotor Cannon, God help us all, 2 kinds of Volkite.
Additionally, it's pretty much a one-time purchase. Like, unless you plan on doubling up on special weapon squads, this one ballpark at $50, $50 box will keep you in bits for the rest of the army.
If it's even
if it's slightly more, like I was saying earlier before we started recording, you and your friend get into it. There's probably a good chance you and your friends probably want different special weapons. Split the box.
Plays a salamander, give him the flamers,
and the meltas.
Other friend plays a night lord, give him the roto cannons. I mean, this is totally a box you could easily split.
Or buy and trade with friends.
Yeah, and a great box to get someone into the hobby with. Because what are like core weapons, right? If you're new to the game and you're trying to get bang for your buck, you want that squad of meltas, you want the squad of flamers, you want a plasma. But for guys like us who've been doing this for a while, that's what was in the Mark 4 and 3 kits. Mm-hmm. So I already have my plasma squad, I already have my melta squad. It's like, hey man, I'll just split the box with you. You take those 3, bam, everyone's happy. I get the weird shit.
I'll tell you this from my personal experience. When I was a new player, I preferred the roto cannons and the Volkai because they were things that were not in 40K. They were very alien to me. And I was like, these are awesome. So I know that maybe it's the weirdness that's going to attract people to it. You know what I mean?
And honestly, that's fine. Because like you said, hey man, you could probably, not even 2, you could probably get 3 or 4 people to go in on this box set and be like, oh, I want plasma, I want Volkite, I want Rota, I want Melta. Great. Hey, and then you get 5 flamers and you get 5 of the other Volkite.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This is also
if you're attracting new players, give them a hit of 5 of a special weapons. Like, here, go make your support squad.
Yeah.
This is fantastic prize support for events.
You just get a box of this and say, hey, first place guy, come up here and pick your special weapon, your 10 special weapon kit. And then second place, hey, now you get to pick from the remaining. Just go down the line like that.
That would be cool.
Mm-hmm. But it's not just that.
No, we roll into heavy weapons. The first set is Heavy Bolter and the Missile Launcher, which... Excellent choice. They're doing over-the-shoulder missile launcher, which I'm loving it,
Got the classic Rogue Trader missile launcher.
I personally didn't like the underslung one that Forge World sells, so I'm happy they're going back to this. It's very cool.
I do like the Heavy Bolter underslung that they have.
I love the Heavy Bolter.
Yeah.
I love them. Cool. I like over-the-shoulder and underslung, but there's something about this Mark 6 underslung.
Drum mag.
It's pretty sick.
Yep. And when they revealed this, they were like, oh, here it is in all its glory. And we were like, this is pretty cool. And a couple of people in the Discord were like, man, I really wish they'd had some more other weapons. It was like,
that was
exactly what I thought. Yeah.
I was like, where's the last cannon?
And I was like, oh, they'll probably have those in future boxes, right?
Indeed, they do.
And they do, but not future boxes, the boxes right now.
Yeah,
yes.
We scroll down and we can see even more. We've got
the
Tommy Meltas,
you got the Salamander kit.
Plasma. The Salamander kit,
You've got is the one is missiles and bolter. Then you have flamer, melta, plasma. The bolter and missiles is the hard box. the Flamer Plasma Melta is the hot box.
Oh, yes, I see.
And then you have sundry other box.
You have the long range box.
I think that's the that's
you
the
have the
spicy
distance
box.
box.
Yeah. Because I mean, those 45 or those Volkites are 45s. The autocannons are what, 48, and the las cannons are 48. Yeah, that's the long shot box.
Yeah,
there you
that's
go.
the third box. Volkai, Culverin, las cannon, autocannon.
Yes,
and again, you get 10 of each of these weapons in each box.
Yeah,
which is a little weird. I'm interested why the missile and bolter it's 2 for 20. I hope it'll be a little cheaper, but the box is the same size.
You know it won't be. But anyway,
falling here, but I think it probably has something to do with the points costs.
They mentioned something about the those heavy weapons having a few more bits and things to build. So the kit itself is a little more.
Presumably it's because you need a whole arm for that missile launcher, but the plasma cannon and the las cannon are also shoulder mounted.
Yeah,
so you'd need the supporting arm there. Well, maybe you don't. I don't know.
No, I believe you do. I believe you're right.
I got excited during the stream, but I think I did mishear before, but I thought that they had arms for all the different marks in there as well.
Really?
But apparently that's not the case. Apparently that isn't the case.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe he was talking about the special weapons.
Yeah, so
that's just hands. You can connect those pretty easily.
They did say in the stream that there will be more to come with that in future Warhammer community articles on exactly how they'll fit with the other marks and things. So I was a little sad about that, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, if anybody ever thought that we were going to get everything at once, they were... I don't know what they were thinking.
They were dreaming.
Yeah.
This is
always going to be a rollout of stuff. You know what I mean?
This is way better than I thought.
Yeah.
At initial drop, having all the special weapons, all the heavy weapons, that's amazing.
Yep.
Even if it's not initial drop, even if it's phase 2, and we have to wait a month, I mean, that's fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we definitely got enough old Calth and Prospero kits. I'm pretty sure most of us have plenty of heavy and special weapons still lying around these days.
Yeah, I have so many heavy and special weapons that I actually won't be buying any of these boxes.
He says now.
Yeah, I mean, but you got the Mark 6. These are... Apparently, they are built for the Mark 6, so...
Except for maybe that plasma cannon.
It's a good plasma cannon.
It's a big plasma cannon.
And, there's no harm in having, these Mark 6 are going to be cheap as chips, in a month and a half when everybody's got the box set and are trying to, parse them out or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And buying a heavy weapon upgrade set to have a 10-man las cannon and buying 10 Mark 6 to get a las cannon squad. And, hey, my heavy support guys have a different armor mark.
Yeah. And
yeah, bro, they have a different battlefield role.
And that reminds me, because reverting back real quick, but the box set that they revealed apparently is going to be the main starter kit and is not going to be a limited edition like Indominus. It is going to, is the start. So
huge.
The Spartan, the Dreadnought, all those Marines and stuff, you just swing by your FLGS, pick it up. It's always there.
What did you say, Austin? Cheap as chips?
Cheap as chips.
Yeah, man. There we go. It'll be, remember the glory days when Calth was around and we had tactical Marines for $25? It was so good.
You were buying them for $2 a Marine.
I heard you say Isle of Blood rats, Austin. But it really is.
Yeah, I mean that's
Isle of Blood Skaven all over again.
Anybody who's been in this hobby, because now the starter sets seem to be on a quicker cycle than they used to be. But the old 7th edition starter box, right? Those friggin' Death Coptas, right? The plastic rats from Isle of Blood, there's just piles of stuff. And when you have a long-standing starter kit, it just makes entry into the hobby so much easier. Mm-hmm. Not just because of the starter kit, but because you can pick up so much stuff cheap secondhand. Also, speaking of that starter kit and stuff in it, that Dreadnought, that nice plastic Dreadnought, Eddie said very specifically that there were more types of Dreadnought coming to plastic.
Oh really?
Well, remember the Leviathan was going last chance to buy.
Yeah, you're right. Leviathan,
plastic.
But I'm really hoping he's talking about, Daredeo, or how about box dreads? I'd love to see them reboxed, rekitted, and kind of rebranded in a Heresy era. Maybe more agnostic, less purity seals and that kind of stuff, similar to the way Forge World did their what is it, iron clad?
Yeah.
They're ironclad Dreadnought. I would love to see something like that, right?
Yeah, cool. Kind of the Dreadnought or the Boxnaught version of the Contemptor, just clean lines, do whatever you want to it.
Yeah. What more of a pragmatic version as opposed to like how the Space Marines in 40K treat their Dreadnoughts. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like holy relics. But so okay, you got 40 guys. You got 40 Marines. You've got some with special weapons. How do you get them into combat now? They all can't walk. They're only T4. What do we do now?
Man, if only there was a plastic Demios Rhino.
Oh, say what?
It was funny.
Thing.
A few episodes ago, I mentioned I've already got a bunch of Demos Rhinos right now. If I start a new Legion, I'm going to need more Rhinos.
No man can have a sufficiency of Rhinos.
I got a sickness, and the only cure is more Rhinos.
More Rhino.
You say that, Austin, but I realized the other day that I've played since Dark Vengeance came out for 40K, and up to now, and I've never had a single Rhino.
Steven, the only Rhinos I own for Space Marines are Rogue Trader Mark 1 Rhinos.
Oh, well, look at you.
So I'm there with you, is what I'm saying. Like none of my Marine armies have ever been mechanized, but everybody winds up with a Rhino at some point.
When Adam or Eddie was talking about coming and showing up to a game with RTB Marines, and someone said, "Well, you'd have to be really dedicated for that." That's you. You're coming to Heresy events with literal Rogue Trader models.
So I couldn't bring myself to buy the Forge World, Rhinos and Predators. It's so damn expensive, right?
Uh-huh.
So I have slowly been amassing Rogue Trader era vehicles for my wolves. So like I've got a Predator, I've got a Whirlwind, I've got some Rhinos. So I could theoretically field a GW, Warhammer World legal force of all the Mark 1 stuff.
Nice.
Were I that much of a madman? But I want to talk about this kit because it's a cool looking Rhino.
Yeah, first off, I love the smoke poppers.
Yeah, great.
Those are very cool. I don't know why. It's such a small thing, but I love it.
Well, not only because they look cool, but because they're not going to friggin' break the second they get dropped or anything. Like, normally you have that 3 prongs, and you always lose at least one, and eventually it's just kind of the nub sticking off the top of your Rhino.
Yeah. That's a smoke launcher. You'll just have to take my word for it.
No longer. Very Happy
cool
days.
Spotlight.
I love the Spotlight.
We got different weapons. First off, we got a driver for this, and he's again in Mark 1. Or 2. I'm sorry, Mark 2.
2, don't.
What are you eating? Stop eating that. You don't know what that is. I don't know what that is.
Yes, I do. Leave me alone.
He's got a heavy bolter, a multi-melta, or I love the redesign of the Havoc launcher. Like you see the same thing on the Dread.
That's a fantastic Havoc. And you know what? I wonder.
Very low profile as opposed to the Chaos Space Marine one.
Call me crazy, but I love that big 6-tube, like the size of another Rhino Havoc launcher.
So the fun thing is, the new Havoc launcher looks a lot like the missile pods that I've got for my Contemptors for their Havoc launchers, which I got from I don't know where.
That's a land speeder bit that you have.
Land speeder missile launcher? Yeah.
Yeah, it looks very close to that.
And I know that I wasn't the first or last person to do that conversion, so I wonder if they kind of went, hey, that conversion looks pretty cool. Maybe we should redesign this Havoc launcher.
Well, the old Havoc launcher, as much as I love it, is not a well-designed piece of modeling.
And it doesn't look like what the rules say it does.
It has so many parts. It has so many parts for something easily. So small.
The detail isn't great. There's tons of flash on it.
Okay, so now I have my infantry. I've got my weapons. I've got my transports. If only I had something to support them in the battlefield, like something that was big and armored. I don't know.
One quick aside. The doors, they didn't confirm that the Forge World doors fit on this Rhino, but they did seem pretty confident. Did anybody see in the article?
No,
that you can do it?
I would be shocked if they didn't. They look.
Yeah.
The Rhino looks comparable in size. It looks almost exactly the same.
Yeah, it looks like they just took the resin model and made it into plastic with a.
I'm also wondering how much of this is an original kit and how much of this is a rework, or is the entire thing a rework? Oh, you know what? Look at even the treads are brand new. There's no... Wow. Wowzers, Bowser.
Yeah, this brand. Ooh, I didn't notice that. Yeah, there's no more Aquila treads.
Well, the Aquila tread. They're stylized Aquilas originally.
Yeah, I remember people would always come in and be like, well, only Emperor's children can have Aquilas, so I can't really use these Rhinos, right?
Fuck yeah.
We're like, relax.
Then you would correct them, it's only Palatine, and then they'd correct, oh, well, this is a Palatine, and then no one fucking knows what a Palatine's going to be.
Not Palatine Aquila.
Anyway.
Moving on.
Right. So, do we have any sort of, cool, heavy support thing? Oh, what's this? A Kratos? What's a Kratos? Oh my God! Look at this thing! Look at this thing! It's amazing. It's got heavy bolters that are hull-mounted sponsons.
Yep. We don't know who its daddy is, but its mama is a Fellblade.
Yes. Yeah. The daddy's either we said a Sicaran or a. What is the other one? What is the other one? Saber.
It reminds me of Saber too, right? Could get up there. It's kind of Chihuahua and a Great Dane, but it could happen.
It's crazy. Look at this thing.
Yeah.
It's gigantic.
It's a big boy.
And you don't even have to scroll very far in its Warcom article before you get stats.
Yeah. I love that they're actually showing us this, right?
Yeah. Pinning on the battle cannon.
Yeah, so it looks
Volkai.
The footprint looks roughly. I think they also mentioned it too, between a Land Raider and a Spartan. So,
yeah, that's what I heard.
So a bit bigger than a Sicaran, so it's definitely closer to Spartan size than at that point.
She's a big girl, and her not sponson weapon, coaxial. Her coaxial is an autocannon. Normally, that's a heavy stubber. So
but on a Space Marine vehicle, they're not using those. This isn't 40K. We're not letting Call put stubbers on everything.
30 cal, get out of here.
Call, we have autocannons. Why are we putting stubbers on everything?
Rate of fire.
Yeah. Look at that, though. Okay, so we got Volkai. We got a Melta cannon.
Do we actually want to talk the stats of these weapons?
Stop.
They're pretty impressive.
Yeah, so you got the main Kratos battle cannon with high explosive, armor piercing, and flash burn shells.
Armorbane ranged? Interesting.
That implies that there's Armorbane melee.
Well, if you go further down, you get Armorbane Melta.
Oh, you know what? It could be. So we know Melta.
Probably just streamline the Armorbane rule then.
That would be nice.
Because Melta did the same thing, but was Armorbane at half range. So I wonder that.
Yeah, that might be the difference, is that Armorbane Melta is back to the standard, you got to be at half range, and Armorbane range is just the full distance.
Yeah, but that's great to see it consolidated, because they both did the exact same thing, except one was only at half range,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And I do love this Melta blast gun, right?
That's 36
inches, 4 shots.
But it isn't, but that's the crazy thing, it's a blast gun that's not a blast.
Yeah, it's not a blast. It's strength 8 AP1, 36-inch range.
Yeah, that is. And then,
but finally, you have a Melta gun that is capable of killing an enemy tank without fishing for the explode result.
Yeah, no kidding.
Because you could just do the 3 hull points.
Yeah. Or 4 hull points.
Or 4 hull points.
Yeah.
That flash burn, strength 10 AP1, man. Wowzers.
Gets hot.
Oh, wow, yeah.
A lot of people were speculating leading up to second edition, and obviously there's been leaks, but it looks like they are not moving into a 9th edition variable AP and multiple wounds for damage. It looks like they're keeping the old Horus Heresy strength.
Yes.
Yeah, and nothing is above 10, so at least we know that they're not going to go crazy strength 16 or 18 or anything like that, right? Or
they might still, but...
I'm going to go ahead and guess that with Armorbane and Sunder, that we're not getting toughness vehicles.
Yes, thank God.
It looks like we're keeping armor values.
Yes.
Because the modified AP, I'm not really for or against, but vehicles need armor values.
Yeah,
they need facings.
Austin will sell his Space Wolves and never play again if they grave this Kratos a toughness
real
value.
Quick, the Kratos AP shell, it's heavy 2 Sunder, and it's isn't that what's the militia tank that is your anti-tank? No, that's your anti-tank Lehman Russ.
A Vanquisher?
A Vanquisher, right? Isn't it Heavy 1? Is it Sunder?
No, it's Armorbane.
Oh.
Or Armorbane and Ordnance.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, interesting. Ordnance isn't... Well, not that it isn't a thing, but it's not a thing for any of these guns.
Yeah.
It's a big old tank.
So the Volkai, though, we haven't even talked about that. Strength 7, AP 5, Heavy 12.
Heavy 12, Jesus Christ.
And deflagrate.
Yeah.
This, it's overkill for militia because it's strength 7, but Jesus Christ, do I hate Heavy 12 deflagrate. Just poofing entire friggin' battalions at a time.
Yeah, because that's... If you hit with everything and you wound with everything and they don't get armor from the AP 5, that's 24 dead dudes.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you roll it right. But yeah, potential.
But really, the odds on that are, 20 dead dudes, 19 dead dudes,
yeah,
right?
Still, you don't have to have 24 dead dudes to completely maul a squad.
Yeah. But best of all, it does appear that all of the weapons come in the plastic kit, along with, in addition to las cannon sponsons, heavy bolter, and Volkite sponsons.
Yeah.
And
I love the Volkite.
The mother of all dozer blades.
It's a delightful dozer blade.
Yeah. Do you think the hull mounted pintles, whatever they're calling those, do you think those will just be bolters, or you think they're going to have that also? Could you run, theoretically, I wonder if you can run...
I could see flamers on
5 Volkite weapons on this thing.
God, I hope not.
I would, yeah. And honestly, I would be kind of dependent on whether or not you can split up your fire. Because...
Yeah. But honestly, I would like it to have, maybe flamer or plasma or whatever options for where the heavy bolters go. But I also feel like they would have showed that if that were the case.
Yeah, that's good.
You know what? Fuck it. Give me little pintle mounted plasma cannons.
I mean, flamers would be good if this thing could Overwatch, but I don't know. I don't think it
like
can.
Point defense, right? Like that heavy bolter is set up.
That's what I was saying. Flamers would be a good idea, actually.
So it might. So I will say. Earlier episodes, the one leak we talked about before was the reactions. That's what we saw. And then a whole bunch of other shit came out. We're like, well, hold on, wait till we get confirmation on any of the further things.
Yes, but theoretically, as of, like I said, that one episode we did,
They did mention reactions with defense point.
Reactions with defensive weapons, so maybe a tank could Overwatch. Maybe.
I'll tell you something I really enjoy about the design of this thing is that the main turret is set far back and elevated, which as a word bearers and a one-time Night Lords player pleases me because it means that this whole front area here where you have the 2 driver slits, I can put spikes and corpses and things on it and not block the main gun.
Yep.
Which is an important design consideration.
Oh man.
I can't do it on a Sikarin. I
just watched the video. This thing next to Space Marines, it is a big boy.
Mm-hmm. I will say though, I don't think I'd use the Volkite on this bad boy. I think I would use my currently my sabers to maintain the mechanized Volkite, and just give this guy a battle cannon.
The battle cannon is super cool.
For me, it's the Melta. It's the Melta.
I definitely want to make it the battle cannon. I think it's just so unique. I don't think any
Space Marines don't get battle cannons in a lot of instances. You got to go into super heavies to find them.
Yeah, that's true. I play enough militia that I'm like, battle cannon.
As a word bearers player, what I want for that battle cannon is to saw the muzzle off and put the muzzle from the Defiler battle cannon on the front. So I have, just screaming demon gun.
Nice.
Whew. Beautiful.
But
and also, let's not forget, this is now. They said when they were talking about it, they say it's one of the main battle tanks of the Astartes, right? The sort of
is that what they're
the Predator's big? It's like the Predator's big brother, but that means that if it's the Predator, and they didn't say it's the Predator's big brother, right? That's me. But if this is kind of a mainline battle tank for the Astartes, then perhaps there will be additional turrets for it in time. Like a big ass missile launcher, or
don't glue your turret down.
Just a Death Strike missile launcher on a Kratos.
God, that would. This is a big kid. You can have 2. You can have 2 Death Strikes on this. Death Strike for everybody.
Definitely can't discount the fact that they'll probably have like Forge World upgrade kits eventually in the future. Like I know a lot of them will be in plastic, obviously, but take a look at like Titanicus, where they still have Forge World upgrades.
Yep.
So,
I mean,
that would be cool.
Off the top of my head, I could see them replacing the big gun with like a mortar, like a big siege mortar or something.
Yeah.
Some sort of
or even just weirder,
artillery.
like more esoteric weapons, right?
Laser
like here's a super conversion beamer.
Yeah. Someone's going to be angry about it, but who cares?
There's always people going to be angry. Our good friend Chad and Henry might be a little salty about that, but it's fine. They'll get over it. And if not, there's therapy for that.
But I love it, man. Every reveal is outstanding. Nothing disappointed.
It's finally nice to see these things in real nice high def detail.
Yeah, not just some blurry photo of some case.
A blurry photo of a case less than a day before it gets dropped. What a dumb thing to get banned for.
And
that's neither
they
here nor
even
there.
showed, what is this, Black Library stuff too, right?
Yeah, they did. A couple new books. Well, I think a summation of the Heresy kind of anthology book.
So is that anthology? Do we know what's in it?
They said it was a previously released short stories, the Lupercal's War.
Oh, okay. Well,
which I'm curious to see which ones are actually in there because.
Well, it's got my favorite authors in it. Dan Abnett and ADB are in there. So
it's a solid pickup if you don't have them already.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Graham McNeil, also fantastic, right? John found I don't know who and many more are, but they've got kind of the top 5 for the Heresy there.
It looks like it's been compiled to have people, first actually getting into the game, not knowing where to start.
Sure, yeah.
Which I wonder how thick it is.
Chthonia's Reckoning. This is pretty typical whenever they release a box set. They'll do a book to go along with it, right?
Uh-huh.
To kind of give fluff behind it. They do it with like every faction or whatever. But
it's hilarious that it's presumably the Imperial Fists ruining Chthоnia.
Now, I would hope so. Yeah, maybe, right? Yeah.
But the Imperial Fists were on Terra the whole time.
Well, funnily enough, you say that, but I thought Chthоnia didn't actually get purged until after the Heresy.
Yeah, I did too. I thought that was a scouring thing.
I mean, I could see there being ongoing conflict, and it doesn't, get a resolve.
Pat pointed out to me that the Siege of Chthоnia happened like mid-heresy, and that's always been the thing. It's always been mid-heresy.
Yeah.
And people just assume that it's scouring because the Fists were at Terra the whole time. Although, speaking of Fists, I like this cover for Chthonia's Reckoning, and I like the cover for Rogel Dorn. Dorn's finally getting his Primarch book. I hope, for their sake, the Fist players, that is, that there are lots of pictures in the book, because I know a lot of them have a hard time with reading.
Wow.
A pop-up book? No, that actually might scare them if we give them a pop-up book.
Yeah.
Go hide in my sandcastle.
Yeah. Horus pops out of one of those books and they just hurl it across the room.
Bolter fire.
Real quick. I don't think we touched on it, but blast templates. So those aren't gone.
Oh, yeah.
Blast templates are there.
Still there, yeah.
Confirmed scatter die. Confirmed the little red licorice whippy thing.
Yeah.
For measuring.
Yeah. Dice are still in it, too, which is a good sign.
It hasn't become a card-based game.
There's models. There's a box.
There's a tactical rock and skulls. That's everything you could want.
So
all of the classics are.
We will now take this time to say "I told you so" to everyone who thought this was going to 9th edition, and we're whining about that.
Yeah, Chad.
Told you so, Chad.
Come on now. We need to validate the feelings. Let's not just, I
mean, the fear was real, right? Like, I had that fear. A lot of people had that fear.
But now we get to pretend like we didn't.
Right.
I mean,
it's not having the fear that is wrong. It is having the fear and then being adamant that you are right.
Letting the fear control you.
Having your mind killed in a way of saying.
Yeah, it is the mind killer, I've heard. Yeah. I just went through and watched the videos, and the videos are pretty cool if you like fancy shots like that. So
yeah,
it is. Although the best one was still the one they showed at the end, which is just that same Heresy opening trailer. Watching that warlord get nuked from orbit.
watching those tacticals get nuked by the warlord.
Right? It's just nuking all the way up the chain.
Yeah, this was definitely worth waking up at 5 a.m. for.
I'm excited. Guys, I gotta say, I'm very excited. I got Ashley right next to me. I'm very excited to spend well over $1,000 on models in the next couple of days.
That is a bold statement.
I hope you're ready, my love.
No response.
Yeah, I told her it's her Mother's Day gift to me is going to be all this stuff.
Well, she wouldn't be a mother without you, presumably.
Exactly.
Yeah, you did your
part. Mother because of me. So, thank you.
Yeah.
You're welcome. I mean,
thank you for your service, Will.
Here's your equal attention cake.
And it's in the shape of a sub $300 54 model box set.
With a goddamn Spartan.
Yeah, these things will hold their value.
Yeah.
Unlike
have you mowed Jared's lawn yet since you lost that bet?
No, I've been in North Carolina, and also it rained today.
So you skipped town.
I told Jared to not cut the grass for a couple weeks so you can get real in there.
Stephen just skipped town. He's like, I can't ever show my face here again. I got to leave town now.
Yeah, I'm actually going to Australia, so I can pay $500 for the box.
Yeah.
Oh,
$1 a dues.
Yep. The upside down world fun box.
My gosh. Well,
I know, right? Because that was the main reason the Australians got into this, right? Because it was cheaper to get resin from Forge World.
Once upon a time, it was cheaper to get Forge World than it was to get Games Workshop.
Now they're just getting screwed every which way.
You tell kids today that, they won't believe you.
I remember that was the big thing that the Horus podcast guys, that was their thing. They're like, yeah, that's why we play this, is because it's cheaper. And, that was like a big reason for it. And yeah, I mean, this is unfortunate for them now, but also greater for the global community. So I don't know.
Yep. Your sacrifice will not be in vain.
Yeah.
We will.
But also just come visit.
Yeah.
Come visit. Change your dollar dues to real money and buy it in American.
I wonder, is that a loophole? Or would you have to pay taxes when you get there? Games Workshop comes and knocks down your door, and they're like, "You owe us money."
No, Eddie said that they disbanded that paramilitary.
They did.
They did.
The
Warhammer Goon Squad. It was disbanded.
Oh my goodness.
Now I would like to note this is not strictly a heresy reveal, but it was revealed at the Weekender here. We're getting lots of cool mortals, Chaos mortals, to make for this new edition.
It's there's Chaos is leaning hard into and what did I call squats? I called them the new militia army that's coming out, right?
Yeah. It's Survivors of the Dark Age militia, man.
Squat prospectors.
Chaos Space Marine has a huge line of cultists coming out, man. All kinds of cultists, and they're in the vein of the Black Stone Fortress guys, which I think are way better cultists than the previous ones that were wearing rags and
these guys. There's a place for both of them.
You're right, there absolutely is. So these new guys
are much more army rejects, right? Deserters and whatnot.
Oh, you're talking to those dudes. I'm talking about the guys in the skull mask and they're still wearing tattered apparel, but it's just better looking tattered apparel.
Yes,
it's a fine group of heretics to mow down with the new Volkai gun.
Hobo chic. Yes. The rotor cannon. Everyone's going to have rotor cannon now, Stephen. The age of the mortal has passed. God.
Who knows? Look, if the Kratos is the new kid on the block, then we have to keep our fingers crossed for the poor luckless mortals who have to face it. They have to have something, right?
Maybe they'll finally get Valkyries.
Not that we'll know, because their army list isn't going to be released with the rest of everybody else's. Thanks, Games Workshop!
Maybe they'll get a new Chimera kit. Actually, that's an interesting point. I know Imperial Guard are getting a new army book soon. Or in the future, right? It's on the list of things that are coming out in the near future. So I wonder if they're going to try for a duel like that.
Some new guard vehicles to help the militia.
Well, just are they planning the militia drop for that? To coincide Mortal Madness, right?
Look, as long as it's all done by Nova, I don't care how they do it.
I want it all done by like July, August at the latest, right? It can't come out like the day before Nova. It's too late. Like you need you need the solid month of like figure out everything. Send the emails.
Yeah.
Please, GW, hear my cry.
Yeah, Elohim, God on high, can you hear your people cry? Deliver us. Deliver us.
This is now a musical. Here we go.
I watched Prince of Egypt last night, and
weirdly, I've been listening to that soundtrack for like the past week.
Have you listened to what is it? Let My People Go? But somebody like remixed it and made it hard, like percussions and everything. It was awesome.
More of a demand.
So a quick side note outside of Warhammer stuff, just a life thing. Whenever I'm driving around in the car now, if it's a long trip, I have what's called the Prince of Egypt intermission, where I stop listening to whatever I'm listening to, and I listen to Deliver Us, The Plagues, and There Can Be Miracles. And then I go back to listening to whatever I'm listening to. So, like you, Austin, I have also been binging the Prince of Egypt soundtrack.
That's solid. Also, on the point of mortals, right? As one of the others, since we're talking a little kind of general reveals, the new Warcry warband, the Horns of Hashut,
yeah.
Which do seem to be actual people. Hashut, for those of you that don't know, is the Chaos Dwarves god. But these seem to be normal people, and they look like they would be fantastic for 30K as well.
Oh yeah,
like there are some guys that kind of like kind of Baroque armors. So maybe for like Disciplined Masters, those guys, and then there are dudes that just have like farming implements or like construction mallets, but they're in kind of slave getup. Like they've got some chains. They're in sort of not quite rags, kind of like what a Skaven would wear. Actually, now that I look at it more,
they're just tall Skaven, tall tail is Skaven,
right?
Skaven release.
But it would be great for those, for like some objectives or like some probably not militia because you need tons and tons of them. But like, oh hey, like there's some freed slaves. You could have a scenario where Angron runs around with a group of these guys and then vanishes and they all get murdered.
Man, what a crazy...
Mysteriously.
Yeah, boy, good thing nothing like that would ever happen.
No, the Emperor wouldn't allow it.
Those little Warcry guys all have like the bull helms and then they have like cloven hoof toe caps on their boots. That's pretty neat.
Yeah.
Lots of cool details.
It's a very cool aesthetic. I guess their boss is a Minotaur or what are these
centaur.
called?
Centaur. It's a 3-armed centaur.
Yeah. Is he 3-armed? No, he's got 4 arms.
Oh, he does have 4 arms. My apologies.
It's hidden.
Yeah. He's
got
real
so
cool
much
too.
going on. Yeah.
These guys are great, like kind of a Byzantine looking militia.
Yeah. And you know what?
Yeah.
Make that dude their force commander, that 4-armed centaur boy, just some ascended dude.
Get like 3 of them and just bring a demon list, right?
That's true too. Yeah. Anyway, great day for traders.
Oh, guys, and great day. I mean, great day indeed, because we finally got a Phobos kill team. We've long awaited. Everybody's been wanting the Narthesium from the 40K Phobos Space Marine kit, so it's finally here. Just, as one last positive note.
Yeah, I mean, this whole thing, right? The only, and it's not even really a bummer, right? Because they said this is coming in June. We didn't get a firm release date for Heresy, presumably early June. But yeah, like it's all there. Put the rumors to rest. Here we go.
It's going to be good.
All right.
So, yeah, once again, thanks for listening to another episode of the Remembrancers Retreat. Thanks to everybody who came onto the Discord channel this morning with us and watched along the stream and chatted. That was a good time, and definitely be doing more of that in the future for sure. Thanks again for listening. Thanks for being part of our community. Go over to the link in the show notes and join us at Discord. We're having a lot of fun with that. We're really engaging again, and it's been a lot of fun hanging out with you guys. Be sure to like us on Facebook and Instagram at RR30K Podcast. Be sure to check out our website, rr30k.com, and that's where we have our homebrewed Horus Heresy Battlefleet Gothic Compendium. where you can play Battlefleet Gothic using the Legion rules and Mechanicum rules and all that good stuff. And finally, if you'd like to support us, go over to patreon.com/RR30K podcast. And as always, I'd like to thank all of our patrons, starting with our Praetor tier, Alex Self, Chap Lanisar, Chris Mack, Gardner.Tree of Woe, Joe from Music City Heresy, Kevin, Luke Rizzuto, Matthew Boyce, Michael Tisdall, Mr. Baldwick, Nick Quenga, Rena the Floof, Sarah Luther, Taco Tuesday or Bus 22 Rock and Roll McDonald's, and What's Ligma? Our Legion Centurions, Aaron Maynard, Andrew N., Dave Jones, Duncan, Ed, M. Tanzer, Gorkrow, Nick Hilda, Richard Bork, Scott LeMay, and Void Imperatrix. And finally, our Legion Sergeants, Agrippina, Aircraft Terrier, Emily O'Hare, Garrett Lowe, Jay DeSales, Jay Grammaticus, Jonathan Crane, Carl, Nick Gillen, Noah Atkins, and the Zoe. Thank you all so much. We greatly appreciate it, and we hope to see you guys around. That's all I got. Keep those dice rolling. We got a new edition, guys. It's here.
Yeah, it's finally coming. Hey, baby.
The long night is over.
We'll see you next time. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.